BAM! Good evening. It's office hours. I'm attorney Vince Davis. And tonight we're going to be talking about your right to effective assistance of counsel. Now, my name is Vince Davis, and I'm an attorney here in California, and I'm an expert in CPS cases, help getting the children back to the family or to the parents. Now, in California, probably as in most states, you have the right to be appointed an attorney if you're a parent, guardian, if you can't afford an attorney. And in California, that includes the right to effective assistance of counsel. In California, the courts have held that not only the California courts, but the United States Supreme Court says that there is a due process right to counsel, that it includes the right to effective assistance of counsel. And in California, there's also a statutory right. In other words, the legislature here has passed a law, I believe it's Welfare and Institutions Code Section 317.5 and California Rules of Court 5.660D, which talk about the right to competent counsel in your juvenile dependency case. Now, competent counsel means that the person is reasonably knowledgeable and trained and has the experience to represent you in these kind of specialized cases under juvenile dependency laws. And so you're appointed someone, you don't have to go out and pay an attorney to hire you privately. You do have that right to hire your own attorney privately under the Sixth Amendment, your right to an attorney of your choice. But if you're not able to afford it, the law and the courts here in California will appoint you an attorney. And I think that that's a law, from what I understand, talking to people and attorneys in other states. That's generally the law in the United States. Now, there comes a problem sometimes that an attorney might be ineffective in their representation of a client in a juvenile dependency case, just like the attorney might be ineffective in the representation of a person in a criminal case. And it's generally the same analysis. If your attorney has been ineffective under the law, there's a famous case in California, People v. Pope, 23 Cal 3rd 412 at page 424. It's a 1979 case where the Supreme Court talks about what is ineffective assistance of counsel. Just because your attorney doesn't do what you say or do what you like doesn't necessarily mean that there's ineffective assistance of counsel. And I want everyone to know that if you feel that you have a conflict of interest with your attorney, or that your attorney is being ineffective assistance in representing you, you have the right to change attorneys. Now, the ultimate right is usually up to the judge, but you can go out and hire a private attorney, or you can ask the judge to appoint you a new attorney. And before the judge does that, most likely the judge will have what's called a Marsden hearing, where everyone is excused from the courtroom except for you and the attorney, the judge and his clerk or her clerk, and generally the bailiff. The bailiff's there to keep the peace. And both of you explain to the judge why you should be separated, or why the attorney might say why that you should stay together. So if you have a problem with your attorney, your court-appointed attorney, tell the attorney and or the judge that you need to have a Marsden hearing. And at that Marsden hearing, the judge has to decide whether the attorney has to stay on and represent you in the case. So this evening we've covered your right to due process in getting a court-appointed attorney, and that it has to be an effective and competent attorney if you want to read more about that and how that is explained actually in the law, there's another famous case, Matthews versus Eldridge, a 1976 case, 424 U.S. 319 at 335 specifically, that page number. So these are important constitutional rights to due process, to have a competent, effective court-appointed attorney. And if you don't have that, you can talk to the judge or your attorney about having a Marsden hearing. All right, so you're probably watching this video because you or someone you know has a CPS case. And if you have a CPS case and you have questions here in California, please give me a call. Um, I'll answer to the best of my ability, give you probably a free consultation, and sometimes I have a lot of resources that you can look at. My website, fightchildprotectiveservices.com, my YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and in the search bar type in Vincent Davis. And also, I have a radio show on ABC Radio, KABC 790 AM, talk radio in Los Angeles, where from 7 to 9 p.m. on Saturdays, I take calls and I listen to stories and I answer questions of people generally from all over the United States. So go ahead and listen in on that. And if you want to reach me, my telephone number is 888 6582, 888 6582. We'll see you in the morning on morning office hours tomorrow morning at 6:30 a.m. Have a good evening.